Hello and welcome everyone to the MTG Paper Legacy Discord's June League Playoffs. I am Pres BTW and I'm joined here by Chaotic Bear. How's it going today?
Hello, everyone. Doing great. Getting to see some magic here, getting to record. That's always nice.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be good for sure. It's been super hot outside, so I'm sitting in my nice cool basement right now, which is pretty nice. But otherwise, yeah, just here to watch some magic. So it looks like we have Scavenging Booze and Rex in this one right here. So Hogaak versus Sneak and Show. So this
Yep.
is definitely going to be interesting.
Yep. Off to the races already here with a Cabal Therapy target Rex.
Yeah. Of note, these are the playoffs of the league for the MTGPL. These are open deck lists, so Scavenging Booze does know that Rax is on Sneak and Show. So this name will be with information.
Yep. But Rex also knows that and is going to play a Force Pitch Brainstorm. It has something in the hand to protect there.
Yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense if you're on, say, like a show and tell hand.
Mhm.
Given that if your opponent knows you're on Sneak and Show, a turn one therapy, you're probably just gonna name show and tell right off the bat.
Yeah, because the show and tell line, of course, can just get like Soul Land into Lotus Petal and just go. And Scavenging Boost doesn't want that. Um,
No.
Rex doesn't have it right now. Just see a preordain here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, like Prez mentioned, open deck list. The other part of our top 16 here is that the higher seeded player from qualifying will always be get the player draw decision game one. So Scavenging Boots had the higher record going into the playoffs, so we'll get to have the play here over Rex.
Yeah.
Um,
So it looks there like there's a preordain from Rax, one top, one bottom, and then just pass the turn back. So we're gonna see second fetch here. First one grabbed an underground sea. This one,
I bet it's a buy
let's see,
you.
what's this one?
Ah,
Nope, it's an underground sea as well.
all right. I was so
So
close.
yeah. Actually, it's kind of interesting. The thing about the GAC deck is that it does have a big fatty to put in off of a show and tell. But
Mhm.
the problem is while Hogaak is very good, it's nothing compared to Grizzlebrand or Emrakul.
Yeah, I mean, I like having an 8/8 most of the time, but if my opponent has a 15/15, I don't quite care as much. We see a daze from
Yeah,
Rex here. They'll set themselves back a turn on mana and tempo there, but also just can stop the Bloodghast from coming in for a little bit and stop the Cabal Therapy that turn.
ooh, yeah. The stopping the Cabal therapy, I think, is huge. Super heads up play from Rax there, because yeah, that blood gas would absolutely be thrown right in the garbage there for a Cabal therapy.
Yeah, unfortunately, it
So
looks like
whatever's in Rax's hand cannot happen here,
yeah,
or cannot resolve.
unfortunately, has a land to get the landfall trigger on the Bloodghast, and we'll get to get the therapy anyway.
Yeah. And of note,
Yep.
there's also a fetch land here. So if this is like a multiple therapy turn,
Yeah.
oh wow.
So,
Em-
sorry.
Force of Will, Sneak Attack, Emrakul, and Land.
Yeah, the name on this was Show and Tell, so it won't hit
Yeah,
there, but does get the information.
I actually think that is definitely the correct name there.
Yeah.
Um, Also, we do know that without the Soul Land there's also just a naked, I believe that's a Force of Will in hand, the Double
Mhm.
Masters Full Art.
Yep, that's what that is. Same as
Yeah,
the one that they cast first turn, I think, or turn zero technically for Rex.
yeah.
Oh
Therapy
no!
again. Uh-oh, this is bad.
Oh, backup therapy is bad news here. He's going to be able to completely strip Rex's hand if he wants, or can just save it for another turn.
Yeah, and good call on taking the show or the sneak attack there. Like taking the Emrakuls is wrong, but I just mean I don't think you're needing to take this force of will at all. To be totally honest,
Yeah, I mean
unless you have a bridge, but
the force of will I don't think matters at all. I mean, if you name the Emrakul there, then the A plus B combo deck, I think getting either one of them is probably fine, but Emrakul goes back in the deck, so at least
yeah.
sneak attack stays gone.
Okay, here we go. So we do see a brainstorm in response to the Cabal therapy here.
Yeah, we'll get to hide something good if we want to. Hoping there's some good stuff there.
Yeah, and that's I think kind of the thing about Rax's position here is the what exactly do you want to hide? Do you kind of want to just show the same cards, or what exactly do you want to do,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
there's some mind games you can play if you show your opponent like the same card they just discarded, but
Yeah.
also if you make it vulnerable at all, you might get got. So, um,
Okay, interesting. So
force.
decided to keep the Force of Will in hand, but also shows a Grizzlebrand now.
Yep, has added that to the lineup. I mean, that is a card that Scavenging Booze knew about, and it's a card.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
oh, no, that's awesome. Oh, so Rax put Show and Tell and also put Emrakul back on top. And what that did was is that it ended up uh well, sorry, I should rephrase that. After the brainstorm, Scavenging Boost sacked the Bloodghast in order to mill the top two cards that Rax put back, one of which was a Show and Tell.
That is so bad for Rex, but it's also a really cool play from Scavenging Booze. I'm not sure if I've gotten to see that before. That's a great answer to a brainstorm. Um,
Yeah.
Assuming they're hiding stuff. You might just be
Well,
helping
I
them.
think in that case, given that the brainstorm was in response to a
Yeah.
therapy, you're definitely trying to hide something.
Oh, yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think that's very reasonable.
Yeah. I think there are some cases where Rex puts two cards back on top, expecting to get rid of them next turn, but you just help mill them, and Rex says, okay, thanks. But
Yeah. Ooh, okay, so it looks like after combat, sacrifice two of the blood gas, milled over, what was it? There was an altar or something else, and then the other one had a Hogaak in
yeah.
it as well.
I saw Hogaak. I think there's also one Cabal Therapy in there as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So, wow, so we're gonna play Hogaak right now, with Therapy being the only card left over in Graveyard.
Yep. Could Okay, gonna sacrifice this here to continue milling himself. There's a grave crawler, two grave crawlers, Vengevine looks like it has notable cards there.
Yeah.
Um,
And also, he's got a lot of mana untapped. So the
mhm.
problem is that he needs a zombie in order to get the grave
Great.
crawlers out. Because if he's able to hit a bridge from below here, and then flash back a therapy or sacrifice it to the altar.
Yep. Second, both Bloodghast. Bloodghast just randomly and annoyingly is a vampire spirit, I believe.
Yeah.
Um,
So looks like, oh, interesting. So he went sacrifice target myself, hold priority, sacrifice target myself, hold priority, fetch.
yep.
And what this is going to do is that this is going to allow him to pull the cards or the land out of the library, put both of the cards back in, and now he's going to mill over again.
Ooh, finds two
Oh,
bridges in there.
two bridges. Uh-oh.
I think that I don't.
Uh-oh.
Wouldn't it make more sense to mill first and then crack the fetch land in case you hit another Bloodghast?
I could see that, but I think the thing is that if he's very specifically looking for a certain type of land, I could see the value in that.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't want to mill one of his fetchable targets.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we're gonna see four zombies here in quick order. Flipping another Hogaak is showing us some
Yeah.
card. Oh, okay, just showing us the careful study on the Hogaak there. Has
Cast
Vengevine from
Vengevine.
hand. He's cast Hogaak and Vengevine this turn, right? So we're gonna get the Vengevines back.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
been a long turn.
That's cool. However, this is post combat. Unless. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's tapping
Yeah,
them to cast the Hogaak. That's super sweet.
yeah.
Wow. I can tell right away this is not Booze's first time playing this deck. Wow.
No, I got to watch him a couple times in the playoffs here, and was pretty fluid with the deck. Looked like knew what to do, knew when to go for it. And he's picked Rex's hand completely clean at this point. We don't know what that last card is, but unless it's show and tell, all this seems free.
Yeah. I like the tapped and the untapped zombies.
Yep.
So we're gonna Gack, Legend Rule. Oh yeah, we are going.
Yeah, that's a clever trick if you play a Hogaak deck. If you have Alpha Dimension, if you cast Hogaak from the yard, hold priority, and sack your own Hogaak, it stops some of the graveyard shenanigans. It keeps you from being surgical off there because you get priority before they get a chance to surgical you.
Yeah.
Just a lot of little stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Up to 5 zombies now. He's he's like a one bridge short of going infinite here with Altar, or is that incorrect?
Um,
Yeah, he should be able to go infinite. He can make 2 zombies every turn and get 8 cards in the bin.
yeah.
So
Looks like
I think are we?
was that? I'm not entirely sure what that was. Was that a therapy or
Yeah,
what
it
was
was a
going on?
therapy hitting the Emrakul out of Rax's hand. We see the last unknown as was an ancient tomb.
Yeah,
Um,
which that I can get behind for sure.
yeah, I mean it's you might as well for safety get the information.
Yeah,
I guess the mill plan not going to really work here against Rex, but has so much power on the board. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
yeah. And I imagine that he's probably just going to keep going until he's able to hit another therapy to take up the Grizzlebrand as well.
Yeah, that would make it completely safe. Otherwise, a top deck show and tell or a top deck sneak attack would be kind of sad for him.
Yeah.
But never
Now,
mind.
oh, there we go.
All
Okay, so it
right.
looks like we just passed back with infinity billion creatures.
Yeah, 28 power on board, I believe.
Yeah, and also
That's
respect to Rax for just windmill slamming the
30.
card off the top.
Yeah.
Bottom. Draw.
Wouldn't
Is
this
that relevant?
if it's show and tell? Well, if it's show and tell, I think they're still kind of dead. Actually, we'll be at 10 life. Can't really pay for
Oh,
omniscience.
wow.
Or that's a show. I'm sorry, that's show and tell. That's a new art show and tell.
Grizzlebrand.
So
We got a Grizzlebees.
does that save them? I don't think that does, right?
So you're only able to draw 7, but I
Oh,
think you're in a losing position no matter what. So I don't think there's any risk in just trying and see what you get here.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just
and
looking it
Rax
up.
immediately scoops it up, which I don't blame them for one bit.
All right, so let's take a look at Rex's sideboard. Rex is a staple of the playoffs here. We see them on stream a lot. See what they brought: 2 Flusterstorms, 2 Grafdigger's Cage, 2 Red Blast, 2 Abrade, 2 Defense Grid, 2 Pyroclasm, 2 Omniscience to go with. I'm sorry, I thought there were
None
2
in the main.
no, none of the main, and then 1 Progenitus here. Be able to cast it off of the Omniscience or sneak it in, of course.
Yeah,
What are you bringing in here if you are Rex?
absolutely. The Grafdigger's Cage is coming in. I actually don't mind Abrades either, just by virtue of they're able to hit the Altar of Dementia, which I think could be really good. Otherwise, I actually also like Pyroclasm being able to sweep up a bunch of zombies. If there is the Hedron Crabs or O2s, and I'll wipe them off as well. Stitcher Supplier, just it's able to do a whole bunch of damage. I really like the Pyroclasms. I think I like the Abrades given that they can hit the altars, and then the Grafdigger's Cage is also just an absolute slam dunk.
Yeah, I know that one way that I lose games against Hogaak sometimes is just getting beat by dummies. Like I cover the graveyard angle, and then they go 2-1, 2-2-2s. Swing with all these. So Pyroclasm can help shore that up.
I agree.
Yeah, all that makes sense. We'll take a look at Scavenging Boozes. So, 1 Dark Blast, 2 Run Afoul, 2 Abrupt Decay, 2 Assassin's Trophy, and then 4 Force of Vigor, 4 Leyline of the Void. Also, as a reminder, the deck lists are in the down in the video description below, so you can take a look at these as we talk as well.
Yeah.
What do you like out of Scavenging Boozes sideboard?
I actually super like Dark Blast here. Main reason why Rax didn't show us, but there are 4 Ragavan Nimble Pilferer in Rax's list. And Dark Blast being able to just kill a 1/1 or a 2/1 is super good, especially when it's as impactful as Ragavan is. I also really like Run Afoul, as Run Afoul says target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying, which means that target Sneak and Show player sacrifices either a Grizzlebrand or an Emrakul, which both of which are great, especially because Ragavan cannot be used as fodder to stop the Run Afoul from hitting Emrakul and Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, that's the perfect answer to Emrakul there, since it doesn't target.
Yeah. I also don't. Actually, Assassin's Trophy seems kind of rough, given that there's not really a land-based issue in this deck. Like, the biggest thing would be if you're trying to hit, like, a Boseiju, or if there was a Depths package or whatever else, because an instant speed way to deal with a Dark Depths is really big, or Abrupt Decay not being able to hit Boseiju, but I guess with you not being a counterspell deck, it doesn't really matter anyway.
Yeah, Trophy can at least hit like Sneak Attack or Omniscience or something. Like there are targets for it. It can hit a Grizzlebrand that's Sneak and Showed in. I guess it's not good against Emrakul, but
No.
uh,
That being said, though, I could also see an argument being made for ley lines, just so that way you could mill your opponent out. But I still don't really think it's worth it, to be honest.
yeah, I don't. There doesn't seem. I don't think there's a world where you bring that in because I mean you're already having to keep your main deck pretty lean if you want your all your synergies to work.
Exactly.
And I
Very
wonder.
synergistic, but very powerful deck.
Yeah, we might even see like the Dazes stay in here. I mean, against a combo deck, he doesn't have a ton of other interaction, but I'll be curious to see if we see any of those. We didn't see any game one, right?
We did not, and I've I have not seen Hogaak decks run days personally. Then again, at the same time, from my knowledge and my format experience, Rax is the only person I've ever seen run days in a show and tell deck. To be totally honest.
Yeah, was Tensai running them in the Invitational a couple seasons ago or no?
Uh, I honestly cannot remember, but I know that that matchup with Tensai versus Rax was the very first time I'd ever seen a Days or
Yeah.
copies of Days in a Sneak and Show deck.
Yeah, I know that slot can vary some. Sometimes it's like Spell Pierce, sometimes it's Flusterstorm. Uh, Looks like just the four force 4 days in Rex's list today.
Yeah,
But they always seem to have
I'm
like.
not saying it's wrong. It's just something I'm not used to seeing.
Oh yeah, I think that just being able to like protect the combo makes sense there, and with Ragavan, it's almost a little easier to offset the tempo loss even, since you get those treasure
Yeah,
tokens.
exactly. So yeah, it looks like for game 2 here, Rax is going to be on the play and start off with Basic Island into Ponder,
Pretty
and then
pretty easy start there. Hopefully, can keep those cards in their hand this time.
yeah, that would be good for sure.
Um, how do you feel with this misleading playmat from Scavenging Booze here? 0 copies of Noble Hierarch in this list.
Uh, I think that's totally fine. I personally don't mind having the misleading playmat thing myself, but I also think it's fun.
Yeah.
Although that being said, I do remember hearing a story of a guy who plays in Edmonton, Alberta there, and he said that back when Innistrad was standard legal, what he had was a big old primetime playmat and the Magic Arts sleeves with the forest on the background at the time, the M12 ones.
Yep.
And he was pushing all that stuff, had a big green deck box, everything else, and he'd go, Island Delver, go.
Yeah. I tried to get someone. I bought a mountain playmat a couple years ago and played Miracles, but no one cared. It
Yeah.
didn't. I don't think it got anyone.
Yeah.
So Careful Study pitches a
Ooh.
Bloodghast and a Bridge from Below. That's an excellent
That's really
Careful
good.
Study.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. So we'll see.
Oh.
Uh,
Actually, on that note, just while I was thinking about it too, knowing that cages are the graveyard removal of choice and not surgical, I could actually see an argument being made. Actually, I guess that would be a huge reason to bring in either Abrupt Decays or Force of Vigors if you're in Booze's spot.
yeah, I feel like I might even like Trophy there over Decay. Decay can't hit Sneak Attack, which is kind of annoying, but also you don't really often have to like kill Sneak Attack. You're usually dead. I know
The
it
other
comes up
thing too,
sometimes.
honestly, is that if you have a Grizzlebrand, you can trophy the Grizzlebrand in response to them drawing 7, and you force them to commit to 14 before they even know what the first 7 has.
Yeah, that's if you're playing Reanimator or Sink and Show, then you know how sometimes you draw 7 and you find everything you could ever need or want, and sometimes you do not.
Yeah.
So, did you see Scavenging Ooze pointed at the Bloodghast for that trigger off the land earlier whenever he played the fetch land? He didn't even motion. He knew the interaction, but it was just very funny to watch him.
Yeah.
Overtly trigger it.
Trigger fizzles.
Yeah. So see a Cabal Therapy, target Rex here. We'll see. Rex may want to counter it again like game 1, or maybe we're just thinking about it for a second here.
Yeah. Also, Rax, along with one of our fellow mods, Oliver V, both practitioners of the signed cards.
Yep.
Really like that.
So the name was Sneak Attack. We get 1 Sneak Attack. Yeah, there are some cards signed in this deck that I were not aware could be signed.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we got a Citrus Supplier there hitting Dryad Arbor hitting Bloodghast and a swamp, it looked like.
Okay, I missed the second card. The Cabal Therapy is also turned off by Grafdigger's Cage, so a lot of work being put in right now with that
Yeah.
cage.
Well, I think this is it. It's very specifically the Hogaak deck in general, because, like, you know how they even play the Dryad Arbor as the Edict Protection. You can't even fetch the Dryad Arbor out.
Oh, that's a good point. I haven't played against Cage enough with a deck that mattered. I didn't even think about that, but that's a great interaction also.
Yeah, you cannot fetch a Dryad Arbor with a Cage out. Cage is a very powerful card. The thing is, though, is that it slows your opponent. It doesn't outright stop them.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the thing is that a lot of graveyard decks, like Leyline of the Void, actually stops their plan, whereas Cage doesn't necessarily stop it. It just slows it down. So a lot of people don't really back Cage in that regard, but when it's good, oh man, it's so good, because, like, the other half of creatures or creatures can't enter from libraries is so nuts.
Yeah. So the Grafdigger's Cage that makes sense to me. It's a 1 mana against Scavenging Booze, and it makes him play out of his hand rather than be able to use his graveyard as a second hand.
Yeah.
I know that Surgical is also common, but my frustration with Surgical versus Hogaak is the trick we talked about, not showing it to Surgical by paying attention to priority, but also
Yeah.
like even if you get rid of Hogaak, like all the other stuff in the deck is just kills you too. So
Yeah. Oh, exactly, and that's, I think, one of the things, because, like, we saw the play earlier last game where you just cast a Vengevine,
yeah,
which, to be fair, brought a friend with, but even then, you can just cast the cards, like, with the exception of Hogaak. Actually, I guess you can still cast Hogaak from hand as long as you delve it and convoke it.
yeah. Um, but I mean, I guess also last game we'd already seen I think 3 Cabal therapies at this point.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh,
all right, we're
Force
gonna.
of Vigor or
Yeah, I was
Bust.
gonna say let's hope he didn't bring in that Force of Vigor if you're Rex here.
Yeah.
I would have fired it off that very second. Well, he knows that Rex runs days, so I guess maybe doesn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, play crack Misty, trigger these Bloodghast. Haha, JK.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the other thing of note here too is that I imagine I wouldn't be quite as worried about firing off a Force of Vigor immediately, just because that Rax has 4 mana, and I guess technically Rax cantripped a couple times before that, but Rax definitely has the mana to sneak attack next turn, or at least play it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm worried about just like if I pass, am I dead? If I'm scavenging booze here, so that's why I'm sort of like interested in firing off Force of Vigor quickly, but I don't know if I would want to fire it in today. So we see Hogaak, Gravecrawler, and Abrupt Decay in the yard there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have
So
to
it
weigh.
looks like Abrupt Decay would have been the removal of choice there.
Yeah, would have been pretty good before the second Grafdigger's Cage.
Yeah, would have been good before the second one.
All right.
And I think that also sounds fine too, because the thing is that the Force of Vigor doesn't hit a ton. It hits a bunch of the Grafdigger's cages, but at the same time, as far as I imagine with the Cabal or the Abrupt Decay, that it's very specific. Oh my goodness, targeting the Grafdigger's cage, because there's not many other targets in the deck.
Yeah.
In the entire 75. Well, I guess technically hitting Ragavan could be good.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
it's very expensive. Like you mentioned, there's some other options in the sideboard, like that Dark Blast. But so Scavenging Boo's got a Vengevine, Rex got a Gristlebrand. That doesn't seem fair to me. But we do.
oh,
we also have
came
Trophy.
in as well.
So we're gonna. I believe that's going after the Gristlebrand here. We're gonna double check. So
Yeah.
Rex gonna draw 7 off of that.
I totally do not blame Rax at all. That seems very powerful. Hoping to find a counter spell here, I would imagine.
Yeah. If you're in this situation, if you're Rex, finds days. Oh my goodness. All right.
That's
Well, that's
brutal.
pretty good too. This doesn't seem like one of those situations where you have to draw 7 immediately.
No. Well, and this is it. Is Rax just passed back without drawing the 7?
Yeah.
And or it looks like it was put Grizzlebrand into play past the turn. Then it was end step Assassin's Trophy, so draw 7, counter it,
Yeah.
and then have to discard the island down to hand size, which is also good because you gave no extra information doing that either. And it looks like Booze is just gonna concede there. Rax is gonna take it down with the Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, I mean, given the fact that the Grafdigger's Cages kept him off balance just long enough, he had to waste his removal on the Grizzlebrand, or try to waste it on the Grizzlebrand. I think, yeah, just one swing from that 7/7 there, Rax is going to see all the cards. Might have drawn another, Emrakul, whatever. So we'll get to go to game 3 here, scavenging on the play. We'll see if either one of these players revisit the sideboard. I know dazes can come in and out based on play draw a lot of the time. If I'm Rex here, I feel like I'm really tempted to just leave him in, though. Like, even if I'm on the play here, I don't want scavenging his stuff to resolve.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we saw that I think we saw game 1 an early days, and it sort of set Rex back on tempo a little bit. But they didn't find the threats they needed anyway off those cantrips.
Mm-hmm.
So both players checking out the sideboard a little bit here. I wonder if Rex is surprised to see the trophies and the abrupt cage just for those cages. And I guess you got to get rid of them somehow.
I can see that. I think the trophy is fine to bring in just in general, as it is able to deal with any particular permanent. The other thing too, actually, is trophy is in this unique spot where, in the event that Rax ended up putting in an omniscience and then casts a sorcery, you can just blow up the thing immediately.
Yeah,
Like the omniscience, you can blow it up in response. So if they don't have an instant, then they're just hosed.
yeah, having access to omniscience on the deck is just so neat. Like, Sneak and Show decks didn't play that years ago, even like during the dominance of Sneak and Show in Legacy.
Yeah. It wasn't until the past couple of years that people actually started running more of them. And man, it's turned out really well because there's a lot of hands you get where you can just show in the Omniscience, cast an Emrakul off the Omniscience, and then they're just dead anyway.
Yeah, I think it seems like we used to see Omni shows its own deck, Sneak and shows its own deck, and then someone put the peanut butter in the chocolate, and we get a little bit of the hybrid here.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to see Release the Ants in a very long time. I'm sad about that.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. That is such a cool way to win.
Yeah. We'll have to get that on a... I wonder if that's not quite pre-Innistrad, though, right? That's newer than pre-Innistrad.
Releasians?
Well, I mean, like that deck in general.
Omniscience is newer than pre-Innistrad. Okay. It was first printed in M13.
Dang, so close. Like, literally less than a year, I think, right?
Yeah, M13 was the core set after Avacyn Restored came out.
Yeah, so close.
Yeah, so it was like 9 months later.
I guess we just need to get a pre-Return to Ravnica Legacy to be a thing.
There you go.
Alright, so Rex taking a mold to 6. I think Boo's keeping 7 here. See if we can get a better hand out of Rex. Definitely knows that on the draw, maybe has to be a little bit pickier there, because we know Cabal Therapy is... If Scavenging Boots finds a turn 1 Cabal Therapy, is going to fire that off without hesitation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, play Crack Fetch. What are we going to get? Underground Sea. Oops. Surprise cat cameo.
Oh, yes. It's always got to have the cat cameo. A little want her to hang out up here, but she's not doing it.
Sad.
She's, I'm having none of that.
Yeah. I used to have a camera. Oh, there's the Cabal Therapy. I used to have an extra camera that pointed towards my floor when I was on, like, Zoom calls with friends. It was just, like, pointing at a dog bed, which is fun.
That's awesome.
Cabal Therapy here. Target Rex. The nameless Grafdigger's Cage to try to get that off the table turn 1. Does not see one. We have, is that a Show and Tell Sneak Grizzlebrand Omniscience Days Unknown?
Could be. Yeah, it's kind of grainy, at least from what I'm seeing here, but, hmm.
Yeah, I think whenever Rex like put that card down, I think the camera went out of focus just a little bit, so I can't quite tell.
Yeah.
But also these newer arts. Ooh.
Yeah, that's another thing, too. In this particular case, though, obviously there was a miss. I don't see a Grafdigger's Cage in the graveyard there, so it looks like we're just going to pass it back. Plays out Fetch Land, plays out Citrus Supplier, hits Days of note. Okay, so I know this is game 3, but if... Oh, I guess with it being open deckless, Rex knew about the Days.
Yeah, Cabal Therapy number 2, so Citrus Supplier, I bet, is going to the graveyard this turn.
More than likely, especially given that if there's anything decent in Rax's hand, I imagine that with the ability to strip it out here. Especially because you're also going to mill 3 cards when you sacrifice the Supplier too. If you're able to mill over a Bloodghast, then you're golden. And then you can Therapy again.
Yeah, and you know that access to a Soul Land enables show and tell next turn. You don't want that.
No.
Taking a wee little think. Yeah, if you would like to join us, by the way, there are links to our Discord, our Twitch, and our Twitter in the video description below. We do league signups. The leagues start the first Tuesday of each month, and we do signups for the week before that. You'll have some round-robin pools to qualify, so if you are able to take down your pool, then you'll get to play like Rex and Scavenging Boots here are on stream.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Would definitely advise giving it a try. It's a great way to try and, like, if you're ever unsure about trying to get on and play some webcam Magic, the league is a great low-stress way to actually get that done, so.
Yeah. You have usually 2 weeks to play 5 to 6 matches at your own schedule, so.
Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be casting a Hogaak here.
Ooh, gets to cast Hogaak and leave Cabal Therapy in graveyard.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, immediately
we know about the days. Interesting.
Huh.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. You're just going to do it again next turn, or sack the Citrus Supplier, and you're suddenly there again, so.
Yeah. Interesting.
This also turns off the days on the Cabal Therapy, so it might just be bait to make sure the therapy resolves.
That could be the case. It's expensive bait, but it worked.
Yeah. And Citrus Supplier will get you back basically all those cards. Putrid Imp, Swamp, Marsh Flats. Oh, no.
It's 2 copies of Show and Tell. Oh, no.
Alright. Well, we found a preordain. So Rex's entire hand is known. One sneak attack, one
if that's the case, then I think one of the cards in hand it looks to be is still... Is that an Omniscience?
Yeah, I think it's a Sneak, Grizzlebrand, Omniscience in Rex's hand left.
Oh, okay, yeah, that would make sense. So we go top, bottom, draw a card. Well, if that's the case, Rax is still on 1 land.
Oh, I literally just now realized that. Yeah. Careful study. That does not look good. Although Scavenging Booze isn't off to the most threatening start, but he can definitely just play an 8/8 this turn.
That is true. Well, we're still short 1 creature here. Sure. Well, provided that that Booze is able to get a land, I think we're fine.
Yeah, I was going to say, he has this Bloodghasting. I was just sort of assuming. The deck just always has it. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Always has it.
There we go.
And is able to cast shortcut cast that Gravecrawler as well.
Yeah. Okay, 3 with the creatures, and then Delve. I'm assuming this is going to be a Hogaak again.
Yep, unless he runs Court of Calling.
Man, this Hogaak deck is absolutely wild. And the other thing, too, this deck was designed to just completely destroy other blue decks.
Yeah, it's really hard to interact with. I mean, they have the game plan of beat down, they have the game plan of combo you out, they have the game plan of strip your hand and I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Preordain again.
Another preordain. Can we please find some land for Rex? Maybe even a soul land. That'd be pretty sweet to see.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would definitely be good, but that's a real fast clock that's going to be coming across here right away.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rex has to find this turn. Maybe not the action, but like the setup, the mana to be able to cast next turn.
Yeah. Bottom draw.
Oh, is another one land? Maybe. Okay. Whew. Scalding Tarn.
Scalding Tarn. Woo.
Yeah, still needs to talk.
Probably not enough though, given that there's what 2, 4, 12, 13 power coming across this turn.
Yeah, if Rex can top deck a Petal or a Soul Land to show and tell out the Omniscience, like, I know I'm asking a lot here, but
yeah. That being said, though, at 6 life, there's no way you'll be able to draw the cards with the Grizzlebrand.
yeah, you can at least stay alive though, right? Like block the Hogaak gain 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I think drawing 7 cards is forever in the rearview mirror for Rex here, unfortunately.
Mm.
But a very methodical. Oh, Lotus Petal. Very methodical player, Rex is. So, like, if there's a line. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Can we get in with Grizzlebrand this turn? Does that do anything to just swing for 7 lifelink? You're still dead on the crackback.
Yeah, in this case right here, if you do gain up to 7, you're just dead there. I think the... What was that, sorry?
Oh, that was a reveal from Scavenging Ooze of, I have the Run-a-Foul in my hand. Does any of what you're doing matter?
Nice.
Oh, okay, well...
Oh, that's so gross.
Yeah, I think we're about to see a big scoop here from Rex. Yep, there it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, fought valiantly on that 6-card hand, but just, like, couldn't find the gas with the one-lander to get there.
Exactly, yeah.
So that means...
yeah, like, the other thing I think could happen is that if you're able to put in the Grizzlebrand, you can attack go up to 7, and as long as you have a Lotus Petal out, you can flash in an Emrakul to block and kill the Hogaak and survive, but...
Yeah, well, I think then you still die to the gas, the Crawler, and the Dryad Arbor on the swing, right? At 5 life?
Well, you'd be at 12, because you just... Oh, yeah, if you're at 5, yeah. Unless you put in another Grizzlebrand and block.
True. Yeah, I mean...
And gain a bunch of life, but even then...
Wasn't dead there, but wasn't going to get there with that. So that means that Scavenging Ooze will go on to the semifinals, where he'll face the winner of Tensai or Cliff on Jeskai Aggro or Blue Red Delver.
Yeah.
Check out the playlist. We should have all these videos coming out here shortly, and come join us and play some games. Do you have anything else to add, Chris?
No, just other than Discord's a great place to hang out to go play some Magic. I would definitely swing by and check it out if you have any interest in playing paper Magic at all.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really fun. You have all those fancy cards, may as well use some. So that's the way I've always looked at it, but it's a great place to do it.
Yeah, definitely fully proxy friendly as well. So if you've got the fancy cards, if you don't have the fancy cards, either way, come sling some cardboard with us.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next time. Thanks for joining us, everyone.